Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. My name is Rati Henning Tias from Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. In this occasion, I would like to present my paper entitled Transforming Plastic Waste into Thematic Souvenir, a Participatory Circular Economic Intervention in Dewi Kajii Tourism Village, Yogyakarta, Indonesia. This paper is written in collaboration with Frisky Yulianti Indonesia and Helen Dian Fridayan. I will start my presentation by asking a question. Why plastic waste matters for tourism village sustainability? And from this program, we found a tourist destination challenge that unmanaged plastic waste can weaken environmental quality and visitor perception about the tourism village. And then we also find the challenge that tourism villages need visible and locally meaningful environmental practices. In Dewi Kajii context, as an educational tourism village associated with an ornamental fish activity, they identified that residual plastic remained underused when it lacked an accessible resale pathway. And we found an opportunity that in the context of circular economy, actually plastic can be recovered, processed, and transformed into thematic souvenir. Souvenir can connect environmental stewardship with visitor identity and local livelihoods. From this background, we find into a strategic idea how to turn local waste into a visible tourism product and a learning object for community-based sustainability. This manuscript positions the program as an early stage intervention evaluation. Our problem statement rises from the waste program often stop at collection or only resale or selected recyclable materials. Residual plastic without a market remain underused, and then community members need practical capability, not only environmental messages. We also find a research gap that limited attention to market-facing pathway in community waste programs. It's also find the need to connect waste separation, creative production, and tourism experience. We also find the need cautious evaluation that distinguishes early outcomes from long-term impact. We also identify the objective of this program. We want to document program design and implementation sequence. And then the second, we want to identify immediate changes in awareness, skill, and continuation intention. And then the last, we want to diagnose constraints and propose stage continuation requirements. From this problem statement, research gap, and objective, we raise a research question. How was the intervention implemented? And what immediate changes were documented? And what conditions are required for sustainability? The study integrates circular economy, participatory development, and sustainable tourism as our key theories and prior studies. If we talk about circular economy, it identified that materials should be retained in productive use rather than treated as disposal residues. Upcycling creates value through reuse, recycling, and product transformation. In participatory rural appraisal study, the community members participate in identifying problems and implementing solutions. In this approach, learning by doing is central to capability formation. And then in the last study, it is about the sustainable tourism village. Environmental practice becomes stronger when connected to local identity and resident benefit. Thematic souvenir function as place-based object, not merely generic recycled goods. Prior study links waste, tourism, and local asset optimization. The intervention in this program link waste governance with creative production and tourism value. The process consists of how the plastic waste coming from household and community sources can be sorting and cleaning based on the type, color, and cleanliness. And then it come into the production process where the plastic can be shredding, molding, heating, and cooling. And then in the production process, it also can produce a thematic souvenir that can be consist of coaster, accessories, or decorative items. From this kind of process, it will develop the local value, consists of awareness, skill, and enterprise interests. Our analytic assumption said that a souvenir becomes a boundary object connecting household waste separation, creative production, and visitor experience. The program that we are conducted, we find some key findings that consist of three immediate program level changes. The first one is about the environmental awareness. We found that there was a increasing waste reframe as recoverable resources, but the participant recognized that plastic as a material with functional, aesthetic, and potential sale value. It shows that the awareness from the villagers has increasing. And then the second one about the production capability. It's also increasing in participant practice a workflow. These findings show that the skills from the villagers have been changed since the workshop translated awareness into sorting, threading, molding, heating, cooling, and finishing practicing. And then the last one about the continuation of interest. Early ideas for craft group, that it's also an increasing concern from the villager about the continuation of the program. Some participants express interest in continuing through a small plastic-based craft group. The last slide show about the documentation of our activity. It is about how our activity have been covered by the publication in a certain media and also the process on how this program has been conducted. That's all my presentation and I'm waiting for your response, comment, and also question. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.